Let's talk about Stefanos Tsitsipas, the tennis sensation who's not only known for his on-court skills, but also for his charming personality and good looks. He's even earned nicknames like Greek God and Greece Lightning, and it's not hard to see why. Currently, he holds the number 5 spot in the ATP rankings, but there's been a bit of a dip in his recent performances. So, what's going on with the Greek God of tennis? Let's find out. Let's take a trip down memory lane to see how Stefanos Tsitsipas made his mark in the tennis world. It all began in his junior days when he showed immense promise. In May 2016, he secured a significant victory at the Grade A Trofeo Bonfiglio, which was quite a turnaround after facing 2 consecutive final defeats at the Orange Bowl. Tsitsipas was already making waves in the ITF Futures events and even reached a couple of ATP Challenger finals in Morocco in October 2016. He clinched his first title at that level in Genoa the following September, right after making it to the main draw at Wimbledon. Thanks to a stunning victory over top seed David Goffin at the European Open in October, he also entered the top 100 in the world rankings. However, it was in 2018 that Tsitsipas really burst onto the scene. It all started at the ATP 500 Barcelona Open in April. Despite being a teenager, he displayed incredible prowess by defeating several top-seeded players like Diego Schwartzman, Albert Ramos, Dominic Thiem, and Pablo Carreño Busta, all in straight sets. He became Greece's first ATP Tour finalist in 45 years since Niki Kalogeropoulos. Even though he didn't take the title in Barcelona, he made sure to bounce back. The French Open saw him facing Thiem, who had revenge on his mind, and Tsitsipas fell in a 5th-set thriller. But he didn't stop there. The ATP Masters Canadian Open was next on his list, where he defeated giants like Djokovic, Zverev, and Anderson, reaching his first Masters final. However, he lost to Nadal in the final. And then, the Stockholm Open happened, where he emerged victorious against Ernest Gulbis, bringing Greece its first ATP Tour title in ages. To top it all off, Tsitsipas triumphed at the next-gen ATP Finals and earned the title of Most Improved Player of the Year. Quite the ride for the young Greek sensation. In 2019, he made a splash by reaching the Australian Open semi-finals, but faced a tough Nadal, losing in straight sets. Throughout the year, Tsitsipas managed to grab just 2 ATP 250 titles, with some near misses against Federer and Djokovic in other tournaments. But he closed out the season with a bang, winning the ATP Finals in London against Thiem. The following year, he continued to impress, reaching the French Open semi-finals but falling to Djokovic in a 5th-set showdown. Tsitsipas showed his skills on both hard courts and clay. In 2021, he made strides on clay by winning the Monte Carlo Masters and reaching his first Grand Slam final at the French Open. He even took the first 2 sets against Djokovic, although he couldn't seal the deal. However, the rest of 2021 didn't quite match his earlier successes, with early exits at Wimbledon, the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, and the US Open. Fast forward to 2023, Tsitsipas has had a decent record, but he hasn't quite been at his best. He started the year strong with 10 consecutive wins and reached the Australian Open final, where he was defeated by Djokovic in straight sets. He managed to break his title drought by winning the ATP 250 event in Los Cabos, ending a streak of 5 straight finals losses since his victory in Mallorca the previous year. However, things took a downturn when he suffered a straightforward defeat at the hands of Gael Monfils in his opening match at the ATP Masters 1000 event in Toronto. And his performance at the recently concluded US Open left much to be desired. Now, don't get me wrong, Tsitsipas isn't playing terribly, but there's something going on. Tennis has seen lots of new and talented players stepping up their game. It's like a big competition, and even a little dip in your performance can cost you a match against these rising stars. That's why Tsitsipas isn't getting the victories like he once did a few years ago. Before we move on, we know you wouldn't want to miss out on more exclusive content like this. So make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel to stay updated with all the latest in the world of tennis. It's not that Tsitsipas has lost his touch. It's more about his consistency. The consistent victories that were once his trademark have dwindled somewhat. And in the unforgiving world of tennis, a loss of consistency can have a domino effect. Opponents sense this vulnerability, and it gives them the belief that they can conquer the Tsitsipas mountain. Adding to the challenge is Carlos Alcaraz, who's become a bit of a nightmare for Tsitsipas. Alcaraz has beaten him 5 times in a row, and their recent matches haven't even been close. Tsitsipas used to be great on clay, but now Alcaraz is the king of that surface. Tsitsipas has also been trying something different on the court. He watched how Carlos Alcaraz played and thought, hey, maybe I should enjoy the game more. So you might see him smiling even when he's behind in the score, which is something we didn't see from him before. But here's the thing, this new approach hasn't led to more wins. Changing your game style like that is tough, and it hasn't quite worked out for him. Additionally, he's been tinkering with his team, trying to find the elusive puzzle pieces, but as of now, things haven't quite fallen into place. When Tsitsipas plays against lower-ranked opponents, it's like watching a well-oiled machine. His forehand is a weapon, and his backhand doesn't seem to be an issue. But when he faces players like Djokovic, Sinner, or Zverev, the top dogs with powerful cross-court backhands, that's when things get interesting. They target his one-handed backhand, applying pressure. To be clear, Tsitsipas's one-handed backhand isn't bad, but it's arguably the weakest part of his game, especially against the big guns. Let's break down Tsitsipas's backhand struggles, especially against hard hitters like Djokovic. The key issue is his wrist movement or lack thereof. He doesn't use his wrist as much as he should when handling backhand shots, which makes him vulnerable to powerful shots like the ones Holger Rune were unleashing on his backhand side during their match at the 2023 French Open. To deal with these hard-hitting opponents, Tsitsipas might need to up his slice game. Instead of defending aggressively right at the net, he should let the ball come to him. This allows him to slow things down, giving him more time to recover and react. When you hit the ball harder in return, you leave yourself with less time to make your next move. Players with a two-handed backhand, unlike Tsitsipas's one-handed style, often find it a bit easier to manage these situations. That's why Tsitsipas is often griping about his returns. It's all connected to his backhand struggles. Tsitsipas has a one-handed backhand, and hitting one-handed backhands isn't a walk in the park. Only a rare talent like Guga Kuerten could pull off those high shots with consistency. Here's the thing, Tsitsipas's backhand isn't necessarily worse than before. The problem is he's leaning too heavily on his forehand. What he should be doing is moving toward the ball on his backhand side and aiming for shorter points. 2 or 3 shots and it's over, rather than getting caught up in long rallies that go on for 15 or 20 shots. Now, let's gaze into the crystal ball and ponder Tsitsipas's future in the tennis world. The big question, can he win a Grand Slam? Tsitsipas has been a top 5 contender, snagging Masters 1000 titles and coming oh so close to Grand Slam glory twice. And he's only 25, so there's plenty of time for him to still win a Grand Slam. Considering his recent not-so-great results, he might not get to win a Grand Slam. Even if everything clicks for Tsitsipas and he reaches the peak of his game, the competition on the tour is fierce. There's a pack of young, talented players, all hungry for success. Now over to you. Will Tsitsipas ever win a Grand Slam? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you loved this video, then you should check out this video showing on your screen. See you there.